How's it going, guys? It's me, the Double Taku, here today to talk about the next episode of Mayoiga, or The Lost Village, episode 3. 3, right? Now, this episode, last things were going on in the last episode, and I was like thinking about, hey, here's my hypothesis about this crazy, sketchy-ass village. Here's what I thought, here's what's gonna happen, sort of thing, right? And now, this episode sort of proves, not proves, but, well, okay, it proves that something is really going on in this town, and also in this episode, we're sort of getting some little backstory on a lot of the some of the characters, and I really think, I guess we'll see how this goes, because there's still 29 of them. You note that I say 29, not 30. 29 of them. So it's gonna be hard to comprise how many freaking backstories there are, but I thought that some of them were pretty interesting, and it gives a lot of more emphasis on why they're here in a sense, right? So this episode, they realized that Yotsune, I finally know his name, and Masaki, the cute girl, went missing. They go and try to argue. It's like, okay, what the frick happened to them? Why would they run off? And let's go find them, right? And then basically they find Masaki, and she's telling her story. It's like, okay, no, Yotsune was with me, trying to take me somewhere. And then he said he saw something, he went off in the forest, never came back, and then she fainted, and then she was hiding from something, right? So, sketchy as heck, and we don't know where Yotsune is, so it's okay. So they all start casting their doubts on her. It's oh, what are you talking about? She, the guy says oh, he tried to take you, to try and have his way with you, and then he's you look pretty ragged and whatnot, something happened, you might have fought back or something like that. I was that's a load of BS. Seriously, that's a load of BS, because we all know, we all know that something is going on in this village. So they sort of dropped the fact, hey, you know what, forget it, let's try to look for Yotsune. Masaki, you go get some rest, because whatever the heck happened to you, what happens. And then, there's oh, there's freaking plates and vegetables, produce out in the fields. There is legitimately food and supplies here. This is sketchy as heck. This is even making me more suspicious. And then they start to pair off people in groups, in their houses and roommates and whatnot. And I guess to a fight between, I don't know his name, I think his name is Jack, or the Chunubyo. And then he gets in a fight with the other guy, I forget his name, Sasaki. And then he's calling him out, oh, you are the copycat, I don't want to be in the same room with you. He pisses the heck out of him, and then he gets a freaking broom and tries to smack the heck out of him. It's whoa, 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 you trying to kill him or something like that? So then they get into a fight, and then it causes a huge commotion where they are here. And then they're discussing, okay, this dude tried to attack me. It's what the heck is wrong with him? And then they find out that our character here, Jack, or Saki, I don't remember his name, he was basically a criminal, and he committed a crime back in high school where he supposedly stabbed someone. And then there's oh no, there's a criminal on us with the tour. It's we should execute him. It's I don't want to be here with some criminal. And then Mitsumune surprisingly comes in and defends him. It's oh, that's not, we don't know that. Everyone shut up. We don't know if there was a reason why he did it. We don't know, if he actually killed someone, we don't know his part of the story. And he only attacked you because the Chunubyo was making fun of him and whatnot. So it's pretty interesting to say that Mitsumune was taking his side, and he was sort of responding, oh, this guy's taking my side. It's he's not just instantly labeling as a criminal. He's giving me a chance, sort of way. And that's what I like about Mitsumune-kun. He's okay for now, except he's a freaking dude. He talks his mind last episode. He's freaking too obvious to the girls and whatnot. But here he's pretty cool. So it's oh, give him a chance and whatnot. And then they decide to lock him up in a prison. That Valkana, I think that's his name, the angry ass dude. He found a prison where they decided to lock him up for the night. And then we also get to see his backstory with the tour guide manager, the girl. And she's oh, do you know the reason why you're here? Is I know why you're here, because something about his business and how things didn't go south and whatnot. And it's oh, why did you come to this village, even though, why not, right? It's oh, you don't want to be left alone or be alone. And then he's getting all freaking violent and trying to choke her. It's oh shit, it's what the freak is going on? It's don't you dare do that. He's don't you talk about my background story and whatnot. And then they just left it as that, and that was it. I was okay, they all have individual reasons why they're here. And it's really interesting that if we get to see every single point of view for them. I kind of find it interesting. I like character story driven things going on here, and even though there's 29 of them, it's fine. I get used to it. So then later that night, Mitsumune-kun goes for a walk. She encounters Mai and is like, "Oh, Mai, what you doing out here?" You know, it's like, "Oh, just taking for a walk and whatnot." And like, you know, I'm sort of thing because I talked about like how that one dude was a criminal, Sasaki-kun. And then comes Love Pond. It's like, what the frick? Love Pond comes in and it's like, "Oh, you two are going to go execute the guy, right?" It's like, no, we're not. We're not going to execute him at all. Then she gets all violent and starts freaking choking the hell out of Mitsumune, drags him off the freaking bridge and starts choking him in the river. It's like, this girl is pretty crazy. And I kind of figured that from the opening. So then Mitsumune like pushes her off because he's not focusing on the fact that she's trying to choke him, but her bra and it's wet and you can see through, and then he pushes her off and then she's like running away from her, and then they see something in the river, and that is Yotsun's body, and that's where the episode cuts off. And then, you know, the episode trailer for next one, it says Yotsun something, like, you know, he's literally dead. So we saw his body wash up in the river, and now that's why I said 29 people only, not 30. So he died, and like, you know, there was that mysterious bear claw thing in the forest of blood. I think that's pretty sketch as heck, because, you know, there has to be someone here plotting this whole mystery going on here, right? So one character died. Kind of figured, I mean, like, at the rate this place was going, it had to go that way. And Yotsun tried to have his way with Masaki, so he was first, and basically it. So now with a death in the group, they're all confused, like, okay, now most likely they're gonna have some huge, like, sort of distrust in everyone. It's like, oh, he's dead, they're gonna have to investigate how Yotsun died. There's like a bear claw thing going on, or like he died from choking or a knife, I don't know, but, you know, someone died, and that's most likely going to raise tensions in the village and everyone in the village, and people are starting to get like wary of each other and distrustful of every single individual, and it's gonna get really dark and like, man, like almost like Danganronpa reminds me of that, because, you know, you can't trust anyone anymore in this village. So that is what's going on. You know, one by one lives are going to be taken, and there will only be a few left out to solve the truth, if there is a truth to this village. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video if you did, and subscribe, because next week I will be seeing the truth and see just how Yotsun died, and the more truth to this sketchy ass village. If you guys have any questions, comments, you guys want to tell me what you guys think, who killed Yotsun, what's the crazy plan, hypothesis for this crazy village, or you have any hypothesis theory, leave them in the comment section below, or tell me at the Domotaku, because it's like, this village is pretty sketchy. If you guys don't believe me, then believe this episode, because someone died already. And what do you guys think is going to happen, or what do you guys think is the real plot for this village? So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video on the Domotaku anime channel. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys next week to find out the truth. Mata ne.